Okay, so recently I've seen a ton of videos about the music in Pokemon games. The title would usually be like Gen 5 hits different or Gen 4 music slaps, something along those lines. GatorEX made a video about this, so I decided to use his idea as a source of inspiration. And I did ask him if I could make a video about this as well, so you can
shut up.
Soundtracks, especially in video games, are quite underrated, in my opinion at least. People usually don't pay attention to the soundtrack. I mean, I can't blame them. I sometimes do that myself. You most likely focus on the gameplay aspect when it comes to video games, but without realizing it, the music is subconsciously affecting your emotions, whether that be the jazzy music of Mario Odyssey or the calming soundtrack of Animal Crossing. They all play an important role. Heck, even when it comes to watching YouTube videos, the background music is still important. For instance, if I'm not playing any music, how does it sound to you? Pretty weird, I'm guessing. If I play the music once again, everything sounds normal. How about some sad music? I just ate pizza. Okay, I think I made my point here. And this video is sponsored by myself. Please subscribe. The main reason I think these videos are doing really well is because people that used to play black and white when they were kids grew up and nostalgia has gone into effect. From what I heard, when black and white released, a lot of people had mixed opinions, but after 5 years or so, people began to fall in love with it again. I myself never played black and white, although I'm planning to in the future. This kinda reminds me of the incident that happened with Sonic Unleashed. At the time, it got a lot of mixed reviews, mainly because of the Werehog stages, and as the years passed, people started to love the nighttime stages, mainly due to nostalgia. And in the case of Pokemon, that is why at least I think Black and White, Diamond and Pearl are getting a lot of attention. Or it could be that the newer games are just underwhelming, to say the least, and I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. One game I feel is getting quite overlooked, especially with all of the Pokemon music memes going around. That game is Some of you might say, but so isn't that technically Gen 4? Cause it's the remake, not the original. And to that I say, I don't care. Heart Gold is the first Pokemon game I've ever played. When I was a kid, I could barely navigate the menu. Yes, that is how dumb I was. I used to follow Let's Plays exactly. I would literally put my iPad in front of me and just copy that said Let's Play. Yes, it is the perfect example of monkey see, monkey do. But I would make sure that I treat each of my Pokemon with care. Bruh, 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 bruh. So in this video, I will basically talk about my favorite tracks in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And do note that my taste in music will differ to yours, so don't complain in the comments why I did not include Soundtrack X. Our first track is coincidentally the first thing you hear when opening the game. As a kid, I never skipped this intro. I remember rewatching it dozens of times. Okay, who am I kidding? As a kid, I kept mashing A, but for the times where I forgot to mash A or I was eating something, I enjoyed watching it. And 6 years later, I can confidently say this is one of my favorite opening themes. My favorite being, of course, Gen 3. Mainly because it's my favorite region, regardless of which you prefer, you can't deny that Gen 2's opening slaps. We are first presented with a glamorous scene of the sun rising, or if you're playing in Soul Silver, then you'd see a moon rising. And it's these subtle differences that make me appreciate the games even more. And according to Bulbapedia, Lugia and Ho-Oh are often regarded as polar opposites. Lugia represents the sea, storms, the color silver, and is the mascot of Pokemon Soul Silver, while Ho-Oh represents the sky, rainbows, the color gold, and is the mascot of Pokemon Heart Gold. And when these legendaries fly into the screen, it just looks so good. After that, they basically show us a couple of different cutscenes, and what I love about this is that for almost every scene, they made a new track. Whether that be the heavily Japanese inspired track of Ikutrique, I do not pronounce the name, or the menacing song of Team Rocket. This sort of song perfectly describes Team Rocket, a bunch of low-life noobs who use Pokemon as tools, and they invade stuff as well. Speaking of Team Rocket invading stuff, if you've played Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Team Rocket invaded Goldenrod City. And as many kids would say nowadays, that soundtrack is lit. The song's just happy and upbeat. It's what I expect from an extravagant place. It basically sets the tone for the rest of the city. You've got minigames, giant shops, hairdressers, so on and so forth. And the music perfectly matches that. I remember putting my Pokemon in the daycare and just going up and down with my bike for hours on end. Next up on our list we have Ho-Oh's battle theme. Although there are a ton of legendary themes in this game, Ho-Oh's is the only one I can really distinguish. To me at least, a lot of the legendary themes sound kinda the same, but Ho-Oh's is on another level. I love how they incorporated the Japanese instruments into the song. It perfectly sums up this magnificent legendary. And my favorite track in Heart Gold and Soul Silver is none other than Diamonds by Awesome Minecraft Parodies. But seriously though, my favorite track is Ecruteak City. Saying that this song is good is an understatement. I remember I used to go to the city just to listen to the music. It's that good. In the GBA version, it sounded kinda different, and that is what I love about these remakes. Game Freak could easily just make a game with better graphics and call it a day. But going the extra mile and actually adding new side quests, more Pokemon, and change up the tracks a bit, just makes this one of the best remakes in gaming, in my opinion at least. So that's basically the whole video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe for more epic content. My name is Soap, and I'll see you in another video. Do you have friends? Do you have a family? Why not join the most epic Discord server in the world? You can message me, chat with others, and talk about soap.
You know how much